Hey guys, Black Rose here. Just doing my own individual playthrough again, and I spun a wheel just to see which game I was going to play because it's been a while since I've done a video for either game. And as you can see, my wheel told me that tonight is going to be my thief night. So, just to give you guys a little bit of a recap, we left off with Garrett just waking up and us getting to the clock tower and finding a note from one of our kind of task givers saying, hey man, if you ever are around or decide you want to make yourself known to me again, please come by just so I can make sure you're alive. Because as far as our friend is concerned at this point in the game, he thinks both Garrett and the girl are pretty much dead after what happened in the last playthrough. So basically, Garrett wasn't killed, but he was more or less put in a really deep coma. And Erin, which is the girl's name, ends up waking up long before him, but who found her, I still to this day do not know. All I know is that at some point, somehow, she ends up getting put in Thief's version of Arkham Asylum, which we will be going there at some point. My goal today is to try to at least get mostly to that point, if not at least reach the asylum. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get that far tonight, but we'll just get going and see how far we get. So here we go again. That is weird. Why is there no sound? Huh. Mm-mm. Huh. That is weird. Sorry, guys. So, normally, um, the game does have some music and talking and all that. I am not sure what's going on with my TV right now, so we'll just have to do the playthrough without the music background. Um, yeah, so sorry about that, guys. This is really weird. Uh, Let me just quick see if I can find like the in general soundtrack to Thief real quick, just so that way it's not dead. True. All right. Whoop. Okay, now let's go see if we can find our friend John Basso. Ah, okay. Nope. There we go. I'm sorry, it's been a minute, so I kind of forgot how I'm supposed to control Garrett here for a second. So there's going to be guys kind of talking down below saying, hey, what's going on? Why are certain people acting a certain way? That sort of stuff. Um, for the most part, I kind of just ignore what they're saying. They don't really say anything too confidential or anything. Confidential is not the right word. It's not anything too crucial for the game. It's just mostly just them going, hey, I notice these people are acting weird, or hey, have you seen this person in a while, or just random stuff, because some people are like, hey, we haven't seen this person in a while, and with the weird sickness that's going on in the city, they're like, oh, maybe this person actually kicked the bucket, or something crazy like that. There's something there. What is this? Okay, this is all piping. There's a shield here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Was I actually supposed to come in here? Okay, I just found a new document. This is probably something on the watch on, hey, this is our sort of information on who does what, where to find everybody, what the shifts are like, what their marching orders are, if they find somebody out that shouldn't be out, like us. Just random bull crap that, again, doesn't really have anything crucial in terms of like how to get through the game. I just go through everything I can, grab what documents I can, grab what collectibles I can find. Oh, look, there's a lockpick. Let's see if we can pick it. Okay, this one's a little bit more advanced. Come on. What? What? Got it. And doing this as thief is a little bit misleading because he makes it look like picking a lock is easy. But it is not as easy as the game makes it look, and I do not recommend picking up this skill in real life just because, yes, it can be handy if you accidentally do a squirrel and accidentally lock your keys in a car that will let you lock the keys in the car, because I know the newer models don't let you do that. Um, because I have a newer model and it does not let me do that at all. If it senses my key fob anywhere in the car itself, it will not let me lock it, which is nice. But unfortunately, I have family members who have an older car that are like, hey, there's keys in the car, but I don't care that there's keys in the car. Um, and yeah, I've had to unfortunately learn how to pick a lock or kind of jerry rig a clothing hanger to unlock the car from the inside, which is never fun. Okay, so now they're talking about horses and hearing random sounds all throughout the city. It's like, okay, people are either talking about actual horses, because I know at some point there were horses in town, or they're just hallucinating as part of the illness. I haven't quite figured out what all is going on with that yet, just because this illness is weird. Yes. Um, it affects everybody differently. It's a little different from Resident Evil, but it's kind of got the same concept. Oh, look, there's our buddy. He's putting stuff away and he's like, wait, I sent something. And Garrett's good at sneaking up behind people. And this is where, if you could hear them talking, this is pretty much where he's kind of giving Garrett kind of a hard time about the fact that, hey, he disappeared for a year or more, and he's like, I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what happened to Aaron. You have no answers for me. I basically assumed that both of you guys were killed in that raid, and now all of a sudden, poof, here you are. So far be it from me to say anything about the fact that, hey, you disappeared for a while. I should have a right to know kind of what happened to you guys, because I was the one that sent you on that job to begin with. And as far as Garrett is concerned, Aaron is either dead or at minimum at least missing, because he honestly doesn't remember much of what happened during the raid. Just that they went there, what happened, and he woke up on his way back being carted to the clock tower. And now basically our friend here is giving us another job to do. So it's like, okay, time to go see what we can find on this guy, see if we can steal anything back. Our buddy here is still kind of wanting us to find the emerald that kind of started this whole adventure. Apparently, the covenant that we kind of crashed their party on is now scattered throughout the city and ruling different parts of the city in their own way. And he's kind of like, our friend is kind of like Jim Gordon when it comes to dealing with uh, Batman. He's like, can you please use a door, or at least not try to give me a heart attack every time I call you for help? And then after he leaves, it's like, but it's still good to know you're out there to give us a hand. And this is just saying, hey, if you need a job, come to Basso. He'll give you more jobs. Right now, I think this is the only job he has for us. Oh, look, there's a shiny. Okay, this is just his lair, so we don't have to worry too much about the lights in here, because Basso will not do anything to hurt us or turn us in, because he's our friend and he needs us to do jobs. So, okay, do you have anything else for me? If you're still looking for some extra coin, I got some extra jobs for different things throughout the city. Okay, so looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different missions we could do. Usually what I do is if he has a bunch of them, I at least accept them for now, and we can track them as we go. Um, so now we basically have all the jobs Basso has available to us at this stage. Um, kind of sort of put in our to-do list for later. So we don't want to go there because that does not get us anywhere near where our main mission is. So usually at this point in the game, I usually decide, okay, do I want to do the main mission or do I want to do one of the 5 sub-missions I just got? So considering this main mission is going to lead to kind of one of the big hitters we do need to knock down to try to start figuring out what happened to Aaron, I'm going to say, whoops, sorry, wrong button. I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to go through these notes real quick just so it doesn't say, hey, you still have stuff you need to look at. Oh, here's a treason one. That's funny. The documents, you can get like an extra achievement if you actually find them all. I have never been able to find every single document there is in this game. I know there's a way to find them all, but to me, I'm more for playing the storyline. If I get everything in this end, I do. If not, it's like, hey, at least I can say I had fun. So we're going to go to our objectives, which right now is to stock up on supplies and get ready for the heist. So let's see. So the main mission is to visit the Queen of Beggars. So that is the main mission. So that's basically leading us to how Garrett was found and where our next um, objective would be. So I just tracked medical misery. So now that part should be getting tracked. So let's double check our map here. Let's see, it looks like to get out of here, we don't want that. Okay, so I think I already forgot one thing about this. I think I actually do need to visit the Queen of Beggars to open the map, so to speak, to the side missions. And this Get to the Bank is a DLC download I got for Thief, which we will hit that later. But right now, we need to visit our lovely Queen of Beggars and take it from there. So we'll go ahead and do that. Hi. Oh, you must be my medical guy. Okay, this is our supplies. So for us, we use a lot of arrows, and I mean a lot of arrows. Right now, we do have quite a bit of gold to where we could get some resources. So for me, I always start with getting an upgrade for the lock picks because we lock pick a lot of locks. So that to me is a high priority. Which that pretty much depletes a good small portion of what we've got. The lucky coins, grinning salt, and all this. I've never really had to use any of this throughout the entirety of the game. So to me, the next biggest thing, because we use it a lot, is food. You can never have too much food. So we have we have 2. Oh, I'm selling. Okay, I don't want to sell food. I want to get food. I did not mean to sell that, so that was my bad. Um, I'm gonna leave with 5 fire arrows. I'm gonna at least get 5 water. The choke arrow, I've never really used this one. The rope arrow, I usually keep it at 5 because we use rope arrow a lot to get around the city. And the standard arrow, I usually keep that at 5 as well, just because that's usually what we have the most use for. Fire arrows are usually more for if you're trying to light your way through a tunnel. Since we're probably not going to be going through tunnels anytime too soon, I'm going to say we're good there. Blunt arrows are very, very useful, especially when you're going through houses and you're trying not to alert the birds that may or may not be in place, and you're just trying to darken the area so you can search around without being spotted. Blunt arrows can be used to turn off light switches. So I usually keep about 10 in place, so that way I always have that. Poppy. Chewing petals of this flower has the effect of sharpening Garrett's intuition and restores focus. So this is for when we're trying to focus on information for Garrett to find out where our lovely little friend went missing to. Where she is, I do not know. We end up finding her later. We actually do find her, but where she is till then, I have no idea. All right. So this is another reason why I go through every little nook and cranny thing I can. Just because you never know what stuff you're going to find, and if you want to get information or more coin to get more supplies and all that throughout the game, you can never have too much stuff to use to buy your items. It's like you want to steal as much as you can, as often as you can, however you can. That guy is going to the bathroom, so we're going to go this way. So this gets us back to the stone market. So I believe at this point, now that we've stocked up, we actually can, now that we're actually in the stone market, change our objective to where, okay, this is where it's going to say, hey, you unlock this really cool upgrade where now you can unlock more harder to pick locks, and your lock picks are a little less likely to get broken while you're doing it. I always just take my time. Resources, it's going to say, hey, you got fire arrows, or hey, you got blunt arrows. Broadhead arrows, we always have that. Water arrows are handy for putting out fires so that you can sneak around guards. I very rarely use them, so that's why I'm not getting too many right now. So for newspapers, we picked up another one. Okay, North Crest Unbowed. So this is on the North Quest kind of factory, and this is owned by the guy Basso kind of wants us to knock down a few pegs. So this is just a little bit of information of what he's kind of been up to, which is kind of good information to know, but again, not necessary. Why does this still say I need to look at something? Oh, right, because I got Poppy. Anyway, it'll like leave little kind of insignia saying, hey, you got this new, or you got this new, and you probably want to know what this does, so that way if you need to use it, you know what you're doing. Now, so hopefully, okay, the bank's over there. You are writing wrong, so that looks like we have to go back to kind of where we were. That one's over there. That one's over there. The beauty within is right there. And the medical misery is over there. So it looks like, for the most part, outside of the main mission, all the others are kind of back where we just were. So I don't feel like backtracking tonight. So we'll just stick with the main objective and go visit the Queen of Beggars, since we're already heading that way anyway. I kind of wish it would have showed me where some of these were before we got to this point, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Let's see. He's not, that guy there is not really a guard. He's kind of like a homeless guy that's going, I'm cold, so I'm warming up my hands. You still gotta be careful because you never know when guards are going to be around. For the most part, I usually like to be up on the roofs, but sometimes I can find some pretty cool stuff down here on the ground. Uh-oh. Oh. This guy here kind of made me a little jumpy. These are kind of homeless, sickly people that are affected by whatever disease was let out during the after the raid that hurt Aaron and Garrett. So it's like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Once you get to a certain stage, the doctors or whatever the citizens have access to in terms of medical help are pretty much like, okay, at this point, there's not much more we can do because we don't really know what we're dealing with, so therefore, we don't know how to really help. And it's basically a really weird disease caused by the emerald that we unintentionally got infused with, along with Aaron, that causes people to die a very slow, very painful death. Um, yeah, it's not fun. It's not really like cancer, but in a way it is. Is that a guard? No, you're just a smoker. Oh, this is the Queen of Beggars territory, so we should be safe. So in this territory, there is a side kind of collection thing going where, is it this one? No. There's like one of these has like, there you are, right here. So this is a plaque that we can start collecting throughout the game as well, but you need a special tool to do it, which is why the next mission is so critical, because you get the tool you need to get this during that mission. And it's kind of hit and miss on where those are as well. And kind of like all the documents and collectibles in the game, I can find a good portion of them, but I've never 100%ed getting anything. I've gotten close a few times, but never really got 100. It would be nice to at least say I got 100% once, but that's probably never going to happen. Oh, there's the Queen of Beggars. So the funny fact about her, which I don't know how many people actually know this, but she's blind. But her sixth sense on anything is scary good. And I mean scary good. I mean, she doesn't even know where Garrett is while she's talking to him, and yet she always seems to know right where he is. And it's not just that, but she has a sixth sense on what may or may not happen going forward. So the conversation with her is sometimes pretty crucial because she has ways of knowing what you're looking for before you even do. And she kind of gives you hints here and there as to what to expect going forward in the game. And this is where she's saying a year ago, men who believe themselves to know best tried to control something that they didn't understand, which would be the little green emerald that got infused into Garrett and Aaron, primarily Aaron, with Garrett having side effects. And she is trying to tell him basically when they fell from a skylight, and how they survived, she still doesn't know. She's basically telling him that some of her men found him. His body was in shambles, essentially, and they brought him to her den, so to speak, and pretty much nursed him back to health. And he was in a coma for over a year. And then something in the city started acting up, which led to him starting to stir, as in, hey, there's something here that needs my attention. And now she is saying, hey, I don't know where Aaron went, but we found both of you, essentially, is what she's saying, if I remember this correctly. And she said that they brought them both back, but then while her men were out on patrol, Aaron essentially kind of disappears, and they never could figure out where she went or why. And during the time she's been missing, he's been in a coma, but now all of a sudden something is waking him up. So now it's talking about how to earn focus points. Um, so you can donate gold you collect from stealing and completing missions to the queen, and she'll talk to you about different things, and she'll give you focus energy points that will enhance Garrett's ability to sense danger, allies, friends, you name it, he does it. Mostly from what I've experienced with this game, I've played through this game too many times to know that is leveling up your focus points nice? Yes. Needed? Again, no. You can pretty much play this whole entire game and only ever have to interact with her that one time that the game is requiring you to meet up with her. For those of you who are more, hey, we can really level this up and let's see what all we can find. How I play is different how everyone else would. I do sometimes play to collect all the collectibles. Other times I play just to have fun. Now, typically when I play a game to do the collectible run, I take my time doing it and go through it one step at a time to try to see if I can backtrack and figure out, okay, where could this have been? Because this should have been in this general area, so to speak. Um, like up here, there's sometimes something to collect or essentially steal, but I kind of digress. Ow. I do not recommend doing that because that hurt. There was a rope right there. I pushed the wrong button. Um, so I tend to do that sometimes in a game. I'm like, oh, okay, I can just jump down and kind of miss the obvious. Oh, there's a rope. Oops. Um, so there is a guard kind of patrolling that bridge. He's going to be keeping an eye on us. Let's see. Can I? No. Okay, that's zooming in and out. No, we don't want to shoot him. Let's see. I can get down there. Let's see if we can get through here. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to refigure out the game as I'm doing the gameplay. I do know what I'm doing, but it has been a very long time since the last time I actually played Thief. I love the game, but some of it it's like, how in the heck is this even like considered a game at this point? Ooh, shiny. Okay. Okay. So I didn't pull a double dumb and go, okay, maybe if I jump down here, I'll be okay to, ow. So now that I'm down kind of in the lower sewer part of this, I'm like, okay, let's see what we can find. Okay, we have a secret passageway that's blocked by a wrench. Needed cover to get access to it. So that's going to be exciting. So, because that means at some point I need to come back here and go through there. Either that or I believe as I'm going through the main part of this, that's actually where I come out. So either way, I end up coming back up here. Okay. Okay, let's hide here now. There we go. Right stick is crouch. I think I almost said crutch. Um, You'll find when I'm going through these games, I sometimes get a little tongue-tied. Okay, so for this one, we're going to want the water arrow. Okay. Okay, where'd that, guard, where'd that guard go? Go away. So, there Ken, gotta work on timing. Okay, let's see if I can just knock you out. Okay, I think I did, but now we're in a bit of a conundrum where now they're all alerted to me. Time to go back down here and hide because they will not follow me down here. So basically, normally I could hear them talking to where I can kind of assess where they are, if they're still looking for me or not. Okay, so I'm using my focus real quick because that can sometimes help me assess where they are, but I'm not exactly in the best spot to see them. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, kind of take a leap of faith and hope to heck they're not still right up here pissed. Okay, no, there's one over there. He's still doing his thing. They're over there doing their thing. Okay, let's go over here. Crouch down. Okay, so I need to get over there. But how? Can I climb up there? I don't think I can. I think I came to the wrong side of this thing. Crap. There's a guard right there. Okay, that might have been bad number 2. Okay, he went away. I do believe at this point there is a dog in this general vicinity. He's right there. Normally I don't worry about him too much, but he is their sensory, so sorry, puppy. Crap. 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 Well, that worked. I slid down. um, Normally, I don't pay too much mind to the dog, but considering he's their sensory and I can't hear them currently, as much as I hate to, I did have to, for the sake of the game and my sanity, kind of take him out just so that way I didn't have to worry about him alerting the guards unintentionally. Oh, he's right there. Are you guys still looking for me? Kind of. So I don't know how well you guys can see this in the video, but the guards do in the game have a little sort of seeing eye, so to speak, that lets you know, hey, they're looking for you, or something's got their attention. When I took out the dog, they kind of got a whole, oh wait, what happened type situation. And see, here's the vent. We ended up on the other side. Here's a flask. And so the wrench pathway kind of goes here too. Once we get the tool we need, we'll come back here and kind of explore back in here. But for right now, we're good. We're good. That was close. Oh, he's right there. Okay, so we go here. Oh crap, he's gonna find me. Ah, okay. He goes right there. Okay, this guy is about to get on my nerves. Let's sneak up behind him and go, hi, good night. Okay, so that's one less guard we gotta deal with later. Ideally, you don't want to take out the guard or at least too many guards all at once, just because you don't want to alert too many potential coming in later guards that you're around. But at the same time, in order to pick that lock without needing to use yet another water arrow and potentially get spotted by the guards, you do unfortunately need to knock them out. For me, it's always easier to knock the guards out versus anything else. So the reason I'm sort of stopping here is this is going to lead to a really interesting cutscene, which I wish there was audio to this so you guys kind of hear what's being said versus just reading, but I'll trigger it so you can see it. I will do my best not to talk through this, and I do apologize if I'm talking too much tonight. I'm just super excited to be doing this again, so please bear with me. So that is our first sign that Aaron is in fact alive. Somehow during the raid, even though it was primarily forced into Aaron, the fact that Garrett was also affected means that they're connected in a weird telepathic kind of way. So going forward, Garrett's going to be getting off and on flashes from the main storyline about Aaron and what's going on, kind of, and what she's kind of been through, and in her own weird way, she's going to sort of tell us what's going on. Ooh, shiny. because pretty much everything stems from that night and how things kind of awkwardly had to end with Aaron. As far as I know, Aaron did not really have a grudge against Garrett after what happened. Ah! But at the same time, I could be wrong. If I am, I do apologize. No, go down. And then we kind of go back up and into the duct we go. Well, that was creative. Uh, so, Thief is kind of a horror game on top of. Why did it just turn red? Oh, there's a light over here. It's like, what just happened? Um, it's kind of a horror game, but it's also an adventure game because you are going through kind of like an adventure as you're trying to figure out what the heck happened to Aaron, what's going on with Garrett, and just what in general is going on in this crazy city. Okay, come on. Ah, can I not? Okay. Okay, that was way too complicated. It's like, why isn't this working? So there's going to be guards talking below us. Hello. Goodbye. Um, and don't worry, he's just really knocked out because we literally landed right on top of his head. Uh, Erin may have a grudge. She may not have a grudge. I don't honestly know. Um, I do care about that situation. Okay, come on. Thank you. But at the same time, it's like there's really nothing we could have done to really save her. And with Garrett kind of being in his own kind of coma, uh, he probably couldn't have saved her even if he wanted to, or stop her or help her like he normally would have if the situation was a little different. But as with games, they set it up to be what it is. Um, I will say, depending on how far we get tonight, um, the next video playthrough will probably get us to the asylum itself, or at least show you guys as I'm going through some of the side missions. I may do one or two off camera. I don't know yet. Still kind of figuring that out. Uh, I probably won't, just so you guys can see how some of the side missions go. Um, if you guys think I'm talking too much, please put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm open to feedback, constructive criticism, anything, because this is still new to me and I'm wanting to learn and kind of do it kind of how you guys prefer. I know for the most part people don't generally care because every YouTuber is different with when it comes to these kind of things, but I digress. Ooh, box. What's in the box? Stuff. That's what's in the box, is stuff. Okay, so what I'm just kind of doing is I know there's a lot of guards back where we were, so I'm just kind of going, okay, I remember this bit, and I remember once I start taking out the guards, it's pretty much a going, going, gone situation. So I'm making sure I go through what I can without having to, oh, there's food, without having to go through and take care of different things. I'm trying to see if I can remember how to, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so when you pull up the weapon wheel, you can either eat a poppy and increase your focus, or if you're low on health, like after I kind of dropped down after going, oh wait, there's a rope here, I'm not going to use it, and fall to my almost death. uh, I found an extra food item, so I went ahead and healed Garrett because it's going to get more intense going forward. And I did just pickpocket that guy even though I knocked him out. Again, dude, sorry for the headache. So now we're pretty much at the stage where, other than picking up what little random might be down here in this main room, or off to the sides here where all the guards are, for the most part, it's pretty much a battle between us and the guards. So this is where I know Garrett doesn't like killing unless he has to. So I am going to try to do this with as little casualty as I can. But there are some guards in a spot where if I don't take them down, it's going to be very hard for me to get to them just because of where all these silly flares are. And is he down? No, now he's down. Okay, now the other two are kind of looking for me. The other two are going to be primarily using weapons, or, well, of course they're using weapons. They're using swords or bats. Whereas the guy on top that I unfortunately had to kill, sorry Garrett, he was their crossbow person. So taking him down was kind of essential, just because it's like I personally do not want to deal with that. uh, for the most part, when it comes to games like this, I usually avoid the long range guards as much as I can, just because they are a pain in the neck. So taking out these two guys down below is optional. You don't have to. Okay, I got one of my arrows back, which is cool. You don't have to take them out if you don't want to. I do know there is some stuff down below that we'll want to get in terms of getting more gold to buy more ammunition for our bow. Let's see. You are one of those lights, so you have to have a button somewhere. Whoops! Well, that was smart. Well, now we get to learn how to... Well, yeah. I just got myself killed. Oops. Okay, let's load the last save, which should hopefully put us back where we just were. So that was kind of a bad example of how to not get caught. Okay, looks like I'm back in the vent. Whoops. And I went the wrong way. Where could it be? Where could she be? I'm not sure which bee it be. Okay, come on. Okay. So this time, I'm not gonna worry too much about explaining anything or really exploring. I mean, I could go up and get those things I got before. Why not? It's part of the process. I don't really need it, but hey, it's money. Which means when we go back to check back in with Basso. Hi. Boom. And he's down for the count. That was a needless battle, but it got my frustration out, so. I try not to get frustrated with this game. It's just more of me going, you got me last time, you're not going to get me this time type deal. Trying to get revenge for the fact that I was careless and got myself killed. So typically with this kind of a game, you want to avoid being detected as much as you can. You want to avoid getting killed, obviously, because then you have to backtrack. I love Garrett, don't get me wrong, but this game makes it hard to remain 100% stealthy. And let's see if this one is actually... Yep, it's still there. And got it. So you can see there is some shiny stuff down below. We can either choose to get that now or we can get it later. I sometimes get it right away. Sometimes I'm like, it'll still be there later. Because I do remember, at least for this bit, I do come back through. But at the same point, I do think I might actually go ahead and take this stuff now, just because, whoops. Okay. Okay. You're not going to get me down a second time, dude. Sorry. Okay. Where did guard 3 go? And I kind of wasted a water arrow. That's great. So there is a third guard in here somewhere, but I don't know where. So I guess we'll have to find the third guard later. I know I saw something shiny over here. Maybe my eyes was playing tricks on me, which could easily happen. I think we're good. There's really not much stuff down here to snag that's really worth, essentially knocking those 2 guards out. This is kind of a hiding place for if you're down here and you're not playing a me and not pretty much saying, screw being stealthy, let's just go knock them out. Okay, so there's a flare there and a light there. Wish I knew where that archer was. Okay, I'm gonna snag this. Got it. Whoop, 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 whoop. He spotted me. Ow. Get out of his range of fire. Where are you? Okay, since I don't know where he is, I'm just gonna go up here and get him. Because I gotta get up here anyway. Where'd he go? There he is. Crap. So this is not an ideal situation with me and him, because you do not want to get in a tight bind with a guard like this. But we're up here, he's up here. You don't really much have a choice. It was either him or me, and it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I took him out the first time, so we're gonna take him out the second. To me, that's one less archer I gotta deal with later. Garrett is definitely one of those characters that will kill if he has to, because he kind of says that a few times in the first playthrough. But when it comes to a very heavily guarded area like this, if you don't know for sure if or when you're going to run into somebody. I usually err on the side of gamer caution and take out who I need to. Okay, we got food. Food is always good. You want all the food you can get. And we'll observe this in a minute. Okay, we need the wrench tool, which at this point there's nothing more I can do. So we'll go up here. Come on. Like Garrett. So this is the part where we get to go for a ride. Once it starts moving. There we go. This is a really weird scenario where we find ourselves kind of going like, okay, why are we kind of like in a weird situation where we feel like we're pigs, essentially. Oh, guards. So we write that little display, as creepy as that was, up to the point we see the guards, like I did. Okay, so this is broken glass. You do not want to go overly fast over this because we do have guards right on top of us, essentially. And if you run over broken glass in this game, it alerts the guards that, hey, you're down here. And we really don't want that. Okay, slowly. Okay. And again, this is another situation where I kind of wish we had sound working on my TV right now because it would make it a lot easier to figure out not just where those two are, but how help me judge how fast I'm actually going over that glass because I can guess and be wrong. Okay, so this is a good example. So there's a switch right here that turns off lights, which turning off lights is good. The less light you as Garrett have to deal with, whoa, the better. And I almost got caught by the guards again. And here we go. We kind of want to knock you out. The house made noise. Okay, I think we're actually good. Because I think he was only guard on in our way. Which is good. So now we're pretty much safe in this section at least. But we don't hop onto our little display here. We actually kind of follow it into a different room. I am of the player theory of the more guards I knock out or wipe out, between now and the end of this segment, the less of a headache I have to deal with when I actually have to kind of go racing through here to get the heck out of here. Because like I said, we actually do come back through this area a couple times to try to make the end of our game kind of nice. But it's literally once we get going, like when we take on the final part of this stage, we pretty much go bolting out the window and go cowabunga. And as far as I remember, to the many times I have played this, we never really come back into this room or anywhere in this building. Oh, there's a shiny up there. Let's see if I can get it. Come on, climb up there. Thank you, Garrett. And I do talk to my character throughout the game, off and on, just because I feel like it's needed sometimes. Is this the document I need? No. Okay. All right. There we go. I don't see any guards nearby, so, oh, never mind. According to the text on my TV, there is actually a guard nearby somewhere. Okay, I got more blunt arrows. Yay! Sometimes you get lucky and you find extra blunt arrows. So basically what they're trying to have you do is use the blunt arrow to turn off the light to lure the guard away from his post so you can sneak up behind him and knock him out. And I'm going to snag your pouch, which is handy. Does it work for every single guard you come across going forward? Heck no. If it was that easy to get through this game, I doubt there'd be walkthroughs as to how to get through and get past every guard. I'm gonna go high because I can't remember how far. Oh crap! Okay, go in the door. Ah, crap! Crap! Okay, move. Ow! Ow! And I just got myself killed. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I may need to revisit this a little bit. So sorry guys, I'm probably just gonna have to call it here. I'll retry this again another time. Yeah. I'll try this again later and I'll see if I can get past that off camera because it's kind of hard to do a walkthrough and focus on fighting. So I may try to at least get past that point where I kept dying and then retouch base from there. So yeah, thanks for bearing with me. Sorry for being a chatterbox tonight, guys. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good night.